Hi there, guys. Wish from Vintage Action. I hope you guys are all well. And as I promised, I'm here to do the review of the American Expendables, the films of the North American pictures. This is like a new documentary that it was released by ETR Media, like it's like a sub label from Vinegar Syndrome. So basically, you guys can get this one from the Vinegar Syndrome website, and I'm going to tell you all about this documentary, what I think about this one, if it's worth it for you guys to buy this one. And there is options online where you can watch this one as well if you don't want to buy the actual Blu-ray. And I'm going to tell you all about this one. I've watched it, and I'm going to tell you what I think about the documentary. As you can see here, this is a great. I mean, the packaging, it's amazing. The artwork they use on this Blu-ray, and here behind me, as you can see, this is the main menu. Looks amazing. Artwork, great. As you can see here on the picture, you might recognize it's Billy Blanks. Is Cynthia Rothrock. I mean, this slip cover looks great. On the back, as you can see, Bolo Young, and the reference to Tiger Claws, this cult classic from the 90s, the trilogy. And as you can see here, nice slip cover on this one. Artwork, amazing. Nothing to say about it. The inside is the same artwork, but like more greenish instead of the yellow orange explosive on the slip cover, as you can see on the back. And you have alternative artwork if you want to change. Basically, you can change to this artwork, but this artwork looks like amazing. This is a new release, and basically, I'm going to show you just like the trailer in 1 second, guys. Don't go anywhere. Basically, you can show here the back, and this one was directed by Thomas Edward Seymour. Basically, the award-winning documentary celebrates some of the unsung action stars of the late 80s and early 90s in the North American pictures catalog, from Cynthia Rothrock and Bolo Young to Billy Blanks. The film explores the martial arts craze in the US and the ferocious appetite of video store customers for these titles, featuring Lloyd Kaufman, Trauma President, John Brennan, The Last Drive-In, Debbie Rochon, Toxic Avenger 4, Tim Collig, McLeod, and James Richardson, VHS Massacre 2. Special features, you have like the trailer, you have the audio commentary from director and producer, extended interviews with Lloyd Kaufman, Debbie Rochon, additional 24-minute documentary McLeod, There Can Be Only One, additional 80-minute action Fountain of Dead, like 2006, like a super, like a low budget, movie, like C movie. So basically, that's what's on the content of this one. This one looks amazing, and let me show you guys, just like you guys can see the trailer to this one. Let me put here on the extras. Okay, and let me put the trailer. As you can see here, it's like this is all the special features. Not much. Basically, the documentary, it's 1 hour long, and I'm going to tell you what I think about that being 1 hour long. So basically, this is all the special features. Basically, you can watch the movie with the commentary by the director, the origin of Lloyd Kaufman on streaming. Basically, Lloyd Kaufman, if you guys don't know, is the head guy of Trauma. He's the guy who created Trauma and is responsible for the Toxic Avenger movies, among others. I know this is like action martial arts like channel, but a lot of people like trauma, like a lot of horror movies, exploitation movies. So he's a legendary Kaufman, and there is a reason why there is some interviews with him, and I'm going to tell you the reason why. So, but this one is basically 2 minutes, 5 minutes. And you had that Fountain of Death feature 2006, super low budget. I didn't see that, obviously, but so let me put the trailer and you guys can listen. It's like a quick trailer, like 30 seconds. So what this one it's all about.
In 2020, Trauma Entertainment acquired a catalog of films by North American Pictures. It made me more interested in that company, and I did a deep dive into some of the films that they created. These are the B-list of action stars. For every Van Damme and Seagal, there is a Billy Blanks, a Cynthia Rothrock.
And yeah, basically this is the trailer from the movie, the documentary, and back to the main menu. Let me take the sound before I get like a copyright or something. So, guys, now I'm going to tell you: is it worth it to buy this one? Because obviously you see this like cover. I mean, the slip cover looks gorgeous. I mean, so I don't know who is responsible for the artwork when it comes to Vinegar Syndrome, but they are amazing, as you can see here behind me. All these classics here, the Expect No Mercy, TC 2000, Talons of the Eagle, like a Tiger Claws. This is the original artwork, but on the back, yeah, the alternative, the new artwork by Vinegar Syndrome. They do an amazing work when it comes to the artwork. Amazing job when it comes to the artwork. This looks amazing. If you are a collector, if you like action 80s and 90s, definitely this one that looks like amazing on the shelf, right? So, but now I watched this one, and now I'm going to tell you guys. Basically, this one goes and basically they focus on the movies basically that most of them is like film one movies and Shapiro Glickenhaus movies then that were movies that I think in America, because I always think that the Shapiro Glickenhaus, they were the ones who owned the rights of the Red Scorpion, McBain, like a Maniac Cop. So it's movies, The Exterminator from 1980, Basket Case 2. So basically a lot of like movies that Shapiro Glickenhaus, right? He was the one like created the company and responsible for all those cult classics, especially this one I just told you, The Exterminator, and Red Scorpion, Maniac Cop. It's like three cult classics from the 80s. And I grew up watching in Portugal, and I always saw there like Shapiro Glickenhaus, like entertainment. And I didn't know at the time that, these movies were movies that apparently in US they were distributed by North American Pictures. So that's like, this is the movies like American Expendables, the films of North American Pictures. Again, all these movies, this one, they focus on the TC 2000, Tiger Claws, Talons of the Eagle, so movies with Chahal Mary, Billy Blanks, Cynthia Rothrock, Bolo Young, so cult classics from growing up. I'll see film one, and I know it was like Chahal Mary, that is the actor that was in all those movies, and Fearless Tiger, and Operation Golden Phoenix. You guys, if you guys like action martial art movies, you guys obviously know Chahal Mary. And if you go to YouTube, you have the Film One like channel where you have all the Film One movies, especially these like with the most famous ones that I have behind me: Talons of the Eagle, TC 2000, Expect No Mercy. all those movies. But apparently, and something that I found, I discovered, I didn't know, it was like North American picture movies. And those movies from like Shapiro Glickenhaus, the Maniac Cop, the Exterminator, McBain, Red Scorpion. There were movies that was distributed by the North American Pictures. And the big thing is why they did this documentary now. As you saw, like beginning of the trailer, not the training, definitely not the training. I already trained today, but not the training. The beginning of the trailer, guys, you saw like the responsible for this documentary interviewed like Lloyd Kaufman, and you guys might ask, but is like Lloyd Kaufman, the guy from Trauma, the guy responsible for Toxic Avengers, has to do with the American Expendables like Billy Blanks, Cynthia Rothrock, Jahal Mary, it doesn't make sense, right? So when I got this one, I said, "Oh, American Expendables, the films of North American Pictures." Well, you have Billy Blank, Cynthia Rothrock, you have like Bolo Young, and the advertised movies like The Exterminator, Maniac Cop, Red Scorpion. Oh, this is really interesting. And I said, "Oh, they interview Lloyd Kaufman. Why is that?" The thing is, all these like movies from North American Pictures were acquired by Trauma in 2021. So basically 4 years ago, all these movies I just told you guys, the Shapiro Glickenhaus movies, that you guys watch many of those movies in the 80s, especially these three, probably these are three of the most famous. The Exterminator from 1980, and then you have Red Scorpion and Maniac Cop from 88. There are other movies like Basket Case 2 and McBain from 91 with Christopher Walken and Conchita Alonso as well. But this one was Shapiro movies, so North American like pictures movies, right? It's like a Canadian company that apparently they distributed these movies as well, like the Film One movies from Jahal Mary. And Trauma and like acquired in 21 the rights to all these movies. So that's why probably you saw like Vinegar Syndrome releasing Talons of the Eagle, TC 2000, all those movies from Film One, Tiger Claws. And that's a good thing in a way, because you might have like in the future like Vinegar Syndrome releasing like you know, Red Scorpion, The Exterminator, maybe on 4K, because both like The Exterminator and Red Scorpion, they had like Blu-ray releases in US by Synapse, in UK by Hero Video, but like in 2011-12, so more than 10 years ago, they've been released on Blu-ray. Since then, no one have released these movies, right? So this might indicate, right? So again, is Vinegar Syndrome like ETR releasing this like documentary? A lot of these movies that are now owned by Trauma since 21 have been released by Vinegar Syndrome. They did a great job with TC 2000, Talons of the Eagle. They did 4K scans to all those movies and they put on the Blu-ray. The picture quality looks amazing. So that might mean that they might release The Exterminator, Red Scorpion, Maniac Cop on 4K soon, because if Trauma owns the rights, and they've been releasing some of the movies already, and they are doing a documentary interviewing Lloyd Kaufman, because now if someone wants to release these movies, I just told you, Trauma are the ones who own the rights, so and they have to license too. But I would imagine Vinegar Syndrome is in the pole position. They'll be the first ones to get the rights to release them, because apparently they're like a partnership, a relationship with Trauma. That's the good thing. And another one, there's another movie that they talk and they show here on this documentary is like Back in Action from 93 with Billy Blanks and Roddy Piper. Another one that I remember having the VHS, and it says there Shapiro Glickenhaus. And for a long time, I didn't even know. So, owns the rights to those movies now, those Shapiro Glickenhaus. I didn't even know who owns the rights, but apparently it's Trauma that owns the rights to this one. And that's a good thing, because Back in Action is one that is still stuck on DVD. So, and it would mean that Vinegar Syndrome, they might release Back in Action soon on Blu-ray. They might own also The Tough and the Deadly, also with Billy Blanks and Roddy Piper. So that might be a good thing as well. So let me talk now about the actual documentary. I mean, this is like a mixed feeling. I really like the documentary, and obviously, if you are big fans of the 80s and the 90s, I will tell you guys, definitely go for it. I mean, there's a lot of interesting things on this documentary. But I saw a lot of reviews, especially after I watched this one on the Vinegar Syndrome website and online. Some people disappointed. I understand why. First, guys, this is a 1 hour documentary. And a lot of people basically saying this is like a video essay. Sometimes you have longer documentaries on the bonus features on a Blu-ray, 4K, or even a DVD than this one. It's very rare to do just 1 hour documentary and put on a Blu-ray. That's a little bit a disappointment. I knew when I bought it was just 1 hour, but I still wanted to buy this one and check it. But that's one disappointment. It's I wish this one could have been longer. Usually when I do these documentaries like this, you expect at least 1 hour, 30 minutes, 2 hours at least, because you have the Electric Boogaloo that is a great documentary, the Canon, about Canon. You have that one there, the last Action Heroes, In Search of the Last Action Heroes, is a great documentary about 80s and 90s action as well. So that's one thing that is a disappointment, just 1 hour long. And then these special features, I just show you, just short videos, additional interviews, but just 2-3 minutes. And the thing is, in that hour documentary, when you start watching the movie, you think, okay, they are going to speak just about the action, all these Shapiro movies from the 80s and beginning of the 90s, and you start watching the movie, and they talk about Tiger Claws, Bolo Young, Cynthia Rothrock, Jahal Mary, Billy Blank, some behind the scenes information, and cool information that probably I didn't even know. That's always nice to know some behind the scenes, some information about the production, what happened filming these movies, right? Especially the Tiger Claws, TC 2000, the Film One movies, right? With Jahal Mary and all those guys. And then they show you clips of Red Scorpion and The Exterminator, McBean from 91, with Christopher Walken. You have clips from Back in Action, and they talk about these cult B movies from the 80s and the 90s. Because the truth is, that's true. There was Van Damme and Seagal, they were the two main big guys when it comes to action and martial arts. Stallone and Schwarzenegger, it was more a different style, more action, but when it comes action martial arts, it was Van Damme and it was Seagal. And then you had these guys, and obviously they were super important, and they have a big following. Blanks, Rothrock, Bolo Young, even Jahal Mary, they have a big following, and it's cool. They talk about the Shapiro movies that owned by the North American Pictures, and Red Scorpion and the Maniac Cop, the Exterminator, especially these three cult classics from the 80s. I'm not saying Exterminator 2 because that one is owned by Canon. At the time, Canon bought the rights from Shapiro Glickenhaus, and then they did the sequel. So Trauma doesn't own the Exterminator 2. That was a Canon movie, so it's owned by MGM. But these cult classics, that's cult classics. Basically, when they start this documentary, they talk about all these cult classics from Shapiro 80s and 90s, and then all these Film One movies. A lot of nice information, nothing wrong about it. They show clips of the movies. They talk about it. Talk about the 80s and the 90s, that nostalgia, going to a video store, rent a movie. And you guys know that grew up in that era, like me, beginning of the 90s, that at that time it didn't matter if it was a super like big movie, like big budget, or super low budget. When you guys like be you when you guys enter like the video store and you guys look at the posters, the cases, the movies, the actual VHSs, it didn't matter if it was a low budget big Hollywood movie. You just look at the poster on that like case and you say, oh, I'm going to rent this one because this one looks great, right? So it didn't matter if it was a TC 2000 super low budget or Talons of the Eagle, and you see the poster and the video store, oh, this looks great. Or it might have been like a Hard Target with Van Damme, and it's like a big budget movie from Universal, but you didn't care at the time because there was no internet or anything. You just enter, you put your feet on that like video store, and you'll be like in your own world. You like basically a lot of times would rent like a movie just like based on the cover. Most of the times you couldn't even watch a trailer. Of course, you had like previews on the VHSs, right? But a lot of times they didn't, and you just rent a movie because like the artwork look cool. Nowadays it's easy. We just go online, YouTube, you watch the trailer before you watch the movie. But back in the days that was not possible. So they talk about that nostalgia, going to the video store, the importance of all these like B movies, these B action movies in the genre of action, and they were super important in the 80s and the 90s. It was not just the Rambo and the Rockies and Van Damme and Seagal. All those movies were super important, and you guys know my channel is all about that. I like all those guys, but I love these B movies, all about these B action movies from the 80s and the 90s. And basically the first 35-40 minutes of this documentary, it's all about that. But then the last 20-25 minutes of the movie, you start, okay, they interview Lloyd Kaufman, and of course, you say, why? He's interviewing Lloyd Kaufman from Trauma, and they said, oh, Trauma did a great job. They acquired the rights to the North American Pictures movies. So that's a great thing because they can preserve these movies and they can license movies in the future. So boutique labels can put these movies out on Blu-ray, 4K, blah, blah, blah. And Lloyd Kaufman talks about Shapiro Glickenhaus, that he was great, and the importance that he felt like super happy of like acquiring the rights to all these cult classics, and so these ones could we could save all these like cult classics, preserve them and release them in the best picture quality possible. So at least now we know that Trauma owns the rights to all those movies. And yeah, he talks a little bit about that. Glickenhaus, praises him for these cult classics he did. And then he starts talking about their own movies, the Trauma movies. New Trauma movie is coming out. Some of the Trauma cult classics like the Toxic Avenger. And I understand the reason why a lot of people on comments and reviews are saying that this one is a little bit misleading, and some people say this is celebrating Trauma, like the second half of this documentary is like just like celebrating Trauma because they are so great. They acquire the North American Pictures films, and then they start talking about their own movies. I can understand why, obviously. They advertise this as like the American Expendables, and you see like Billy Blanks and Cynthia Rothrock in the cover, right, of this one, and think, oh, this is all about 80s and 90s action, martial arts, B movies. And 70%, 80% of the documentary, that's true. But then you have the last 20 minutes of the movie. Nothing wrong. I don't have anything against the trauma. They have some nice movies, especially horror movies, some goofy ones, comedy horror. I don't have anything against the trauma. I like some of their movies. But the thing is, they don't advertise it here as being like the last 20 minutes of the documentary. Basically, is talking about trauma and not talking about the American Expendables. But basically, I understand the idea. Okay, why the American Expendables? Because trauma bought the rights to all these movies. They have been talking about these cult classics from the 80s and the 90s action. So that's why it's two and one. But I understand the reason why people saying is a little bit misleading. This is more about trauma than the American Expendables. That's not right as well. I'll say that's unfair because basically 80% of the first 40 minutes of the documentary is basically just talking about the American Expendables, all these like actors and movies from the 80s and 90s, low budget B action martial artists, and then the last 20 minutes they introduce like Trauma, Lloyd Kaufman, talking about acquiring all these movies, praising these movies, and then he starts talking about his own movies he released and then his upcoming new releases. So I understand when people complain about that. So in the end, guys, let's say out of 10, I'll give it like a 6. I like it. It's always great when there is like documentaries like this one. Obviously, if I compare like this one here with this one is a way better like documentary. It's an amazing one, In Search of the Last Action Heroes. That one was like Oliver Harper that did this one. This one is amazing. There's the other one, the Canon one. I don't have it here. Is that the Electric Boogaloo that talks about all the Canon movies, even the Go-Go Boys. That one is not as good as well, but the Electric Boogaloo is an amazing like action documentary. This one as well. This one is great. I mean, this one is just a standard case. Just the artwork on this Blu-ray, I'll buy it just for this like amazing artwork, this amazing slipcover. But guys, I'm always honest when it comes to that. You know me. I'm not going to tell you, okay, pay £20 for this. This is the price of this one. £20. I think it was 29 initially. So it's £20, $24. So is this one worth it? Like $24? As a big fan as I am, with this nice slipcover, I think it's still worth it. For you guys, I'll say to you, watch it first. Don't buy it. If you like it, you can buy it after. You can rent this one on Amazon Prime. You can rent it on YouTube as well. Here in UK, it costs roughly $3.50, so I guess £4 in US. So if you like 80s and 90s action martial art B movies, just rent it on YouTube, rent it on Amazon Prime, and then let me know what you think about this one. If you guys tell me, Luis, can I buy this one and I'll pay £20, is 100% worth it? I cannot tell you that, guys. I have to be honest, because I could be here just saying, oh, this one is amazing. It's like 9 out of 10. It's an amazing documentary about like action martial art movies, 80s and 90s. But I have to be honest. First, it's just 1 hour long, and that's disappointing because you always expect like a bigger documentary. I don't even know this one, but this one probably is 2 hours, 30 minutes long. This one is a longer documentary, right? So 1 hour is too short. So when sometimes you see like movies and they have documentaries longer than an hour on the special features, on the bonus features, right? To do a documentary with this amazing artwork, slipcover, and just 1 hour, I think that's short. And from that 1 hour, is like basically 40 minutes, because the last 20 minutes basically is just talking about trauma. Nothing wrong against, I don't have anything against trauma or anything. But then, like some people said, it might be a little bit might be a little bit misleading because I don't advertise it as that, right? So in the end, I like it. It's a nice documentary. Again, 6 out of 10. I cannot like give it more than that, but definitely I'll tell you guys that this one is worth it. And again, it's just an hour, so it is not going to take you like a long time. It's not 2 hours, 3 hours documentary. It's just 1 hour. It's fun. It's very entertaining. So I'm not going to tell you it's not. It's still worth it. So check it on Prime, check it on YouTube, just rent it, watch it, and then let me know what you think about this one. When it comes to if you are a collector and you like to collect all the documentaries and action movies about action movies, I would definitely say to you that, in my opinion, definitely worse than this one, worse than the Canon Electric Boogaloo, definitely not on the same level. 6 out of 10. When it comes to the artwork, amazing. Slipcover, reversible. The case looks amazing. You're like Bolo Young. They did a great job with that. The menus look great. The actual documentary, it's nice. I mean, do more documentaries about like action martial arts from the 80s and the 90s. It's never too much. I love when people do that. They did this one, the Electric Boogaloo, now this one. Bring more and more and more. Some are great, some are not that great, but obviously I'm not going to shit on this one. Obviously, it's positive that they are releasing it and they are talking about these action martial art movies from the 80s and the 90s. But in the end, I would say a little bit disappointing. I was expecting more, even though I knew that it was only 1 hour long. I was expecting a little bit more than. But basically, they offer to us. So in the end, guys, 6 out of 10. I would advise you guys to watch it first, and then if you like it, you can buy it. It's £20, $24 now, but just spend £3 or $4. Watch it and then let me know what you guys think about this documentary. And yeah, guys, as always, your opinion is always important to me. Hit that like button. Comment down below, interact with me. If it's your first time watching my channel, what I do here, it's like basically I do reviews, unboxing, especially of the 80s and 90s action, and obviously this one is appropriate talk about this documentary, because anytime we have like documentaries like these ones like being released talking about the 80s and the 90s, I think it's always like great to support them and to buy the physical media, but at the same time you have to always be honest with yourself, and I'm not going to tell you guys to give like £20 for this one and tell you that is the greatest documentary ever, because there are better documentaries, but definitely still worth it. And yeah, guys, I hope you have enjoyed this one. I hope you guys had a lovely week, and as always, I'll be with you guys soon. Keep strong.